In January 1943, President Franklin D. Roosevelt became the first sitting U.S. president to officially travel by airplane. He flew on a Boeing 314 Clipper, a large flying boat, to attend the Casablanca Conference during World War II. This was a pivotal meeting with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and other Allied leaders to strategize the next phases of the war, including planning the invasion of Europe and the eventual defeat of Nazi Germany. The decision to fly was made due to the dangers posed by German U-boats patrolling the Atlantic Ocean. The Boeing 314 Clipper, operated by Pan American World Airways, was a luxurious and long-range aircraft capable of transoceanic flights, making it an ideal choice for Roosevelt's historic journey. The Sacred Cow, a specially modified Douglas C-54 Skymaster, became the first dedicated presidential aircraft and began serving President Harry S. Truman in 1945, though it was initially commissioned for President Franklin D. Roosevelt. This aircraft was unique, as it was designed to meet the specific needs of the president, marking the beginning of official presidential aircraft for exclusive use. Key features of the Sacred Cow included a pressurized cabin, which was a new innovation at the time, making it more comfortable for long-distance travel. It also had an elevator to accommodate Roosevelt's wheelchair, as well as a conference room for in-flight meetings. One of its historical highlights was on July 26, 1947, when Truman signed the National Security Act aboard the Sacred Cow. This act reorganized the U.S. military and intelligence agencies, creating the Department of Defense and the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. The Sacred Cow thus holds a significant place in both aviation and U.S. history. In 1953, President Dwight D. Eisenhower introduced the Lockheed C-121 Constellation Columbine II as the first official aircraft to serve as Air Force One. The aircraft was named Columbine II by First Lady Mamie Eisenhower after the state flower of Colorado, her home state. This aircraft marked a significant milestone in presidential travel and became the first to carry the now iconic Air Force One call sign. The need for a unique call sign arose in 1953 when the Columbine II had a near miss with a commercial flight using the same flight number. To prevent confusion, the Air Traffic Control System adopted Air Force One as the exclusive call sign for any aircraft carrying the president. The Columbine II was a propeller-driven aircraft with state-of-the-art navigation and communication systems for the time, reflecting the growing importance of secure and efficient presidential transportation during the Cold War. It served Eisenhower until it was replaced by the Columbine III, another Constellation aircraft, later in his presidency. The Kennedy administration was the first to designate a jet-powered aircraft as Air Force One with the introduction of the Boeing 707-320B. Officially known as VC-137C, this aircraft entered service in 1962 and marked a major leap forward in presidential aviation. The Boeing 707-320B was not only faster and more advanced, but also bore historical significance when it transported Kennedy's body back to Washington, D.C., following his assassination in Dallas on November 22, 1963. On that same flight, Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in as president aboard the plane. The Boeing 707-320B served multiple presidents after Kennedy and set the standard for the modern Air Force One fleet. While VC-137C's designated aircraft were already in use before President Richard Nixon's administration, the Nixon government is notable for being the first to use two identical VC-137C aircraft simultaneously for presidential travel. These planes were part of the Boeing 707 family and were first introduced during the Kennedy administration, as you mentioned earlier. Nixon did, however, make a historic first as president by using Air Force One for groundbreaking international diplomacy. For instance, in 1972, he became the first sitting U.S. president to visit China, traveling aboard a VC-137C aircraft, which symbolized a major thaw in U.S.-China relations. This trip marked a pivotal moment in Cold War diplomacy and showcased the aircraft's capability to support such high-profile missions. The VC-137C planes were eventually replaced by the more modern Boeing 747 models during the administration of George H.W. Bush in 1990. During Ronald Reagan's presidency, the decision was made to upgrade the presidential fleet by introducing the VC-25A, a specially modified version of the Boeing 747-200B series. However, these aircraft were not delivered until 1990, during the administration of George H.W. Bush. The VC-25A is what most people today recognize as Air Force One. Two aircraft, tail numbers 28,000 and 29,000, were commissioned, offering unmatched range, security, and advanced communications technology to support the president. These planes feature sophisticated communication systems. The VC-25A can function as a mobile command center during a national emergency. In-flight refueling capabilities, providing virtually unlimited range. Advanced defenses, including countermeasures to protect against missile threats. Luxurious interior. The aircraft includes a conference room, medical facilities, private presidential quarters, and ample space for staff, Secret Service, and members of the press. The VC-25A debuted in 1990 and has since served every president from George H.W. Bush to the present day. It remains an enduring symbol of American power and presidential authority.